Right, my name is Michael Dean, and I want to do this quick video to talk about Prince. It's been 8 years since his passing. Wow. I had a whole thing I was going to say, but when I think about 8 years since Prince died, is not longer here with us anymore, man, it's a hard pill to swallow still, even after 8 years. But, what did Prince mean to me throughout the years? For me, growing up, Prince was always something that I looked forward to every year. What I mean by that is, just about every year, there was going to be a new album that came out that I could not wait for, didn't know what to expect. And it was always what I didn't know I wanted, if that makes any sense. As much as I would like to think that it was predictable, that I knew what I was going to get with a Prince record, the reality is I never knew what I was getting for a new Prince record, and that was the beauty of it. I always knew it was going to be something different. It was going to be something that even just in my day-to-day life, whether, it was during the years when I was in school, in high school, I'm dating myself, but back when things like Parade, Sign of Times came out, I was still a teenager back then. And a Prince album was the big thing every year that I knew was always coming in some capacity. And so, a lot of my life, early life, Prince was always there. The music was always there. I didn't always get to see the concerts back then. I saw Purple Rain, and then many years later, I saw the Love Sexy show. But every time I saw him, there was this period in which I had been listening to the albums and had been learning more about him piecemeal through magazine articles and the snippet of interviews that he would do during those early years. But what I always had was the music, and the world that he created with the music, it fueled my imagination as well. Everything from the music to the fashion, the look, fit, sometimes through the movies, through the cast of characters, the other musicians and people that came through his situation. I absorbed it all. I was a sponge to it, and I loved it all. And I learned some of my musical vocabulary at the time came from those records and what Prince was doing, of course, on stage as well. So, I say all that to say, with Prince not being here anymore, one thing that I have learned, as much as he is not here in the physical space, mentally and spiritually and everything else I could think of, he's here alive and well. We've had a number of releases since Prince's passing. There's been a number of fan events, whether it's celebration or even more importantly, the events that the fans do themselves, which has been incredible. And in that sense, Prince will never leave us. Prince is always going to be here. One of the things as well that I love now is that there is a whole new generation of people who are getting into Prince now, are absorbing the music that he has done over the years. I envy some of the newer fans who now get to have that sense of discovery, man. I remember when Purple Rain came out, and I wasn't a big Prince fan at the time. And I remember getting that album, and then at a certain point, I remember going back to the record store, and I see, hey, there's all these other releases that he's got that I've not listened to. And that sense of discovery to go back and to listen to his early work and compare how that sounded to the things that were current at that time, that really blew me away. And I saw the continuation, the progression of his musicianship, songwriting, his performance style. It was just fascinating to see. So I go back to say is I envy the newer fans who are people who are just getting into this. You've got a wealth. You've got lifetimes of music to discover, to deep dive in, to really just like listen and vibe out to. Like I love that. So I say that to say is Prince is alive and well. And, it's really up to us fans to keep it going. For some of us, it will be doing things like the podcast or different events. For some of us, it'll just be, I just listen to the music. And I told my friend about it, or I told such and such, you should check out this song. Or maybe it's like, well, here's a playlist of some of my favorite Prince songs. But I say it to say, I got to stop saying that, but Prince will continue on. It's only getting bigger. I dare to wonder what it'll be like 20 years from now, where people such as myself who may have been around through the classic Prince era, when he was alive and things of that nature, what the next set of generations and how they're going to see Prince is fascinating to me. But one thing I do know is that the music ain't never going to die. I don't care what happens, what new formats we got. You're always going to hear Prince music in there. It will survive as long as we continue to listen to it. So with that said, listen, continue to enjoy Prince, listen to the music, watch some of the concerts, listen to the rehearsals. Never forget the feeling that you got when you heard Prince or when you got to see Prince for the first time and experience just everything that he was doing, the artistry and whatnot. And for those who are just getting into Prince, buckle up because it's going to be fun. There's, like I said, there's a ton of stuff to listen to and to watch. And the crazy thing about it, there's a ton of stuff that's coming that we haven't, got to see yet. Some things, maybe the hardcore fans, we may have seen it in a bootleg, but it has never been released. So we've got a ton of stuff to look forward to. I can only hope that I live long enough to see some of these things that may come out, 10, 20 years from now. So, with that said, work it like a job. My name is Michael D. If you like videos like this and you haven't heard of this podcast before, please like, share, and subscribe. Work it like a job. I'll see you next time. Peace.